Hi, my name is Greg Osbergs, lead pastor at Bel Air Church. Our mission statement is to love Jesus and love like Jesus. And we live out that mission statement in a variety of ways. And one of them is that we live as generous people. We want to be a generous church. And the Bel Air Church is a giving church. It's always been a part of our DNA. And we believe a spirit of generosity, it ties directly into who we are as Jesus followers. And it's important that this culture, that we reinforce it, because your giving to the local church is crucial to help us to share our love for Jesus with those in need locally and around the world. It's our desire to keep you informed and to be transparent about the ways that your contributions do just that. We're constantly assessing ways to equip you to give easily, both in person and digitally, for instance. But let's talk about the why. I think it's important for us to look at that together. As I said, our mission statement is to love Jesus and love like Jesus. And I believe love equals an attitude of generosity, an attitude of giving. The Apostle John says that we love because he first loved us. Jesus tells his disciples, freely you have received, freely give. And they went out and they had seen Jesus teach. They had seen him heal. They had been recipients of those things, and now they were going to give it to others. Generosity is a reflection of God's character. It's that we saw at the beginning when he created this world and gave it to us to appreciate it and to care for it. So when we give, we reflect God. And this may sound lofty, it may sound too hard to explain, much less to achieve, but generosity demonstrates itself really in simple but powerful acts of kindness. And it can take several shapes. I like to call them the three T's: treasures, talents, and time. And when we give of those three T's, we're shaped to be more who God created us to be. And this leads us, I believe, to be, as Bel Air Church, generous people who are making a difference. And giving can be treated in other ways. It can be seen as an obligation, for instance, that we feel pressured when we're asked to give, or that maybe we grew up it being a requirement that we give. Or on the other end, it could be seen as an option, that it doesn't really make a difference if I give or not, that it's really if I want to or choose to. We believe giving should be in the DNA of everyone in our community and then reflected powerfully in our collective generosity. So it's not an obligation, it's not an option, but a generosity that springs out of a thankful heart, from the belief that God has blessed us and that what we have comes from him. And then as an act of worship, we give to others as a part of the development of our hearts for his world. Trust plays a big part in generosity. When it comes to our finances, we have to trust God enough to contribute regularly, regardless of our situation. And when we realize that everything we have isn't ours to begin with anyway, I think we're set free to trust in our generous God because he's blessed us and provided for us. Trust also goes in the direction of this church. That we are helping you to understand how what you're giving is glorifying God, helping us to grow close to him, building his kingdom, and helping others. So to cultivate an attitude of generosity and to build trust, there are some resources that are being created to help teach and equip those who give, for us to be able to give. And you'll see how generosity directly connects to living out our identity as a generous church. So some of the things that you could be watching out for is like videos that give more insight into generosity and share how-tos and answer questions. These will appear on our webpage where you can give, and they'll also be on our YouTube page. And then also regular giving updates at least once a quarter, and how much we've received, what that money is being used for, how well we're funding our mission to love Jesus and love like Jesus. There's many ways to be able to give digitally. We have our church app, we have our website page, we also have Venmo. There's offering boxes when you come to worship in the back and at the Welcome Center. You can always put a check in the mail, or you can come by the office. As we end our time talking about generosity together, can I leave you with some questions to reflect on that I think can help us to cultivate that heart of giving? One question is, does my giving reflect an intentional and continual acknowledgement and gratitude of how God has blessed me? How does the way I spend my money, use my time, share my talents reflect my priorities? Am I glorifying God and helping others? How can I practice generosity in my home, at church, in my community? You're an important part of our mission here at Bel Air Church. And I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you and your giving. Thanks for giving. God bless.